Hello. Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a Discord server so that it isn't exactly raidable. This one will be without a checkpoint system. So first, you're going to want to make for your server. I'm just going to create a new one. Hope that's okay with you, y'all. Um, Now you don't want to do anything, and I have an option for bots, though I'm not 100% sure if it's global or not. I haven't looked into it. I'm just going to do an old-fashioned method. So you want to go into any browser of your choice and look for Mee6 invite. It is somewhat decent for auto moderation, especially if you have a small server. Uh, so you want to add it to your server. And all of this is fine. Mee6 is fairly trustworthy. It is on hundreds of Discord servers, probably thousands as well. All right. Now, if we look here, Mee6 has come onto the server. You're going to want to do is enable moderation. Now, I'm going to add some staff roles. When you're giving people, if you have a large server or server where you don't actually know everyone and trust them completely, and you just have a staff role for people and you give them willy-nilly, you do not want to enable ban for, why am I, you, hold on, I'm going to turn everything off and show you what permissions your regular staff should have. Well, let's call this mods. And all right, so here are your mods, admins, and owners. Pretty basic roles. I'm gonna refresh the page because I just made these. So you're gonna want to add mods, admins, and owners. Um, you will need some sort of log channel, so I'd make a separate category. All right. Shit. You make a category, and for your staff, I'll go into showing server permissions after I set up the auto moderation. And then you'll want, actually I need to delete that and make it private. Making it private will help, and you can just enable these three. Have this as logs, and and this one as staff chat. All right, when you have that, just refresh. I should have done that beforehand. So mods, admins, and owners. You'll want the logging in that logs chat. Authorize it. Mee6 is very trustworthy. If you have a lot of young people or you have certain values, set up a bad words chat. But this is more for like everyone if you enable this. You can set it to auto delete the message, and if you see it as something that needs to be punished, delete and warn the member. However, just set it to delete message. In my case, I don't really have as much of a problem with bad words or swear words whatsoever. However, not everyone is the same as me. So I'll leave that as disabled. Repeated text, you'll probably want to delete and warn member. If you want to have advertisements stay only in your advertisement chats, I delete and warn the member. Otherwise, keep it disabled. Um, External links would be links like YouTube, Imager, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. So it's basically advertisement that isn't a server invite. Caps would be a pretty good one you want to delete and warn the member. And excessive emotes, not so much, but that's more for this one. Zalgo is basically weird text, so Zalgo. That looks like this, not that. See, this is Zalgo, text, and disable that if you want to, because it is hard to read, but as mentioned, this is the one you want to make sure stays on. Okay, now automated actions. This is how the warn system works. If you have a decent sized server, what you want is to have a temp mute, and I'll just say 30 minutes for like first offense, right? And this can be for their first warn, and you should probably make it in the last 30 days just to be safe. Actually, probably 60. That's what the cheese waffle server is set to. And yeah, set it to an hour for 2 infractions. Infractions are the amount of warns. So be careful. You may, in case you get that confused. All right? And yeah, and I'm doing this in real time. I'm not doing any cuts, so this will be really annoying for you. Yay! Now, if you're like me, you kind of do want to keep some people. So you set the kick to be 3 infractions. You can do that, yeah, in 30 minutes. That'll be good for, actually, you should probably just do it in the last 60 days. 60 is a fairly good number because generally, well, because it's about 2 months. However, if you want to go the 3 months, there's a 90 option. And, well, yeah, you can just keep on scrolling till the end of the year. So, yeah. And you can have them, you can permanently mute someone. That's this option. If you really do want to keep lots of members. And it'll just have, all these options are global throughout the whole server. You don't have to worry about setting this up. Mee6 will do it automatically as long as it's online. Okay. You can set it to a temp ban, but for keeping the server secure, probably should do it after 4 after you should probably do temp mute for I'm gonna do a temp mute for 12 hours so that they know what they did after getting another warrant after coming back. And then you can set this as a ban for this is the 5th time they've broken the rule in 60 days. Now, I know it's a little bit extreme, but it is somewhat effective. Now, it won't stop random text, so I'll get to that in a moment. That you will need staff for. have this disabled so that your moderators can't, so that anyone you don't trust can't use it. You do want clear though. This will get rid of any random spam. You can have this enabled. It'll tell people how many warns they've had in 60 days. This can be enabled, however, be careful. Some people may constantly keep kicking people, and it's also a big risk in case your server gets raided or gets raided from the inside. Don't have mute enabled because that can be taken advantage of. Yeah. Alright. Then, warn is the main feature that you'll want your staff to use. Don't really want them to kick. I know I'm going against my word. However, you do want to warn. And that should be Mee6 completely done. Alright? Next, you'll want to get bots like Salt. So you can get it from other servers, like by doing invite in the chat. You can get the invite here. However, if you're on a server that does not have Salt, you look up is Salt. Salt. I can type Salt by Discord. Make sure to do that. That way you can get the bot invite. Right? This should be fine for Salt. It's again another trustworthy moderation bot. People can also use this to get your emojis as well. All right. Now, you can name the logs to be 6 logs. Save the permissions, and you can make it so that your admins and mods don't talk here and whatnot. All right. And then Salt logs. Now you can set up the server however you want. However, I'll be making pretty basic stuff as I go along. Now we're going to set up the roles, all right? Now, you don't actually want your admins and mods to have administrator. Administrator should be an owners only thing because these are the people you trust the most. And the administrator makes it so that they can do pretty much anything you can. And when they can do that, they can destroy your server from the inside. Now, you want to give owners, and hopefully these are the people you trust the most, and not some random person that just joined that you have no idea how they got the invite. All right? These are the people you trust the most. You'll want to have these just be at the top. Now, admins. Again, like I said before, do not give them administrator. Make sure this is off. They should be able to use the audit log, manage roles, manage channels. That way they can help you do stuff. All right? They should be able to kick members as needed. However, you'll want to make sure that everyone is using uh, the warn system. It, they can kick people. Just leave it at that. And any of the staff can warn and just keep doing warns as needed until they're either kicked or they have been banned using the bot. I'm not as well versed with Saltbot, and I could probably figure it out. I'll just cut it out and yeah, I don't know why I did salt when I'm not as. Don't worry about it. Admins should be able to do this. Should be able to manage emojis. They should be able to manage that. They shouldn't be able to mention everyone. Nobody should be able to mention everyone. That is a terrible idea. That'll get your server rated. Make sure that is like that. And should be able to mute the members and move them as needed. Now, on to mods. All of your staff should be separate, shown. Again, no administrator. That is essentially co-owner. They should be able to. Now, they should also be able to kick members and probably view audit logs so that they can help people. Yeah. Allowing them to change nicknames is for other people is fine. Yeah. They should not be able to mention everyone. These are the people you either trust the least or know well enough that they can't be in too high of a position of power. Yeah. Humans probably should be able to do that. Now, time for the everyone role. Should be able to do these. You should not be allowed to mention everyone. Make sure this is off. It is not off automatically. You have to do it manually. Alright? Now, for your server stuff, nobody except your staff should be able to see these channels. Alright? Now, I don't really do elections on Discord that well. I mean, sure, I'll support them, but they're not as easy to pull off, as so to say. Alright? Now, that. I need some salt. If you're able to get an alternate account or an alt or a friend, I would do not ever raid a Discord server ever. However, I do have an alternate account for testing things on Discord, and this will be one of them. So my preferred browser is Google Chrome, which is why I'm opening up Microsoft Edge so I can open up my Discord alt. So if we go to .com, yeah. do is we make an invite. Search for this one. This is my alt. I change it somewhat frequently. Infrequently actually. Doesn't matter. Yeah. All right. So you see this now. Interesting. So like, don't worry as much about salt. So you don't need to worry about it. You could, in theory, manage a server all by yourself using Mee6. Make sure you do have the highest role though. If you want maximum safety, just set a slow mode. However, it is generally never necessary to have a slow mode, and I would not recommend it unless you have a very spammy community. And yeah, that should be about it. Alright, I'm gonna go see my notifications and edit this. Bye bye. Also, one other tidbit. If you want even more security, I know this should be the end of the video, but if you want extra security, make sure your staff members have two-factor authentication. Yeah, I would have to disable streamer mode to show that, and I'm not sure if I even would want to. But make sure your people have two-factor authentication or a verified email on their account. If they do not have at least a verified email, then it's a pretty sketchy account. Some other things you might want to do. Oh shit. I'm gonna disable that because I will delete the server eventually. You can set this, however, all of your members do not need to have it, only staff members. And I'd recommend doing this if you're not doing a checkpoint system. Sure to do this if you do not want any automated roles and you want to add everything by hand. You can set up with Tetsumuki an automated role system. However, I will not be showing that in this video. Alright, now for the actual ending. I am so sorry